Good afternoon, everybody. So this is Donnie Lyric from the AllgritClub, and I am very, very glad and happy today to be here with Stephan Pieterse from Distance for Difference. I'm saying that right? Yeah, and he's the founder of
right.
this wonderful, well-known institution that's doing some awesome things in South Africa. But we'll get to that. Stephan will tell us a bit more about that. And we're also here with one of his supporting athletes, Colin Marais, that's taken part in massively long cycling events, like cycling in the order of 500 kilometers. And these two dudes are going to attempt something very cool tomorrow, which is also aimed at fundraising. And in the spirit of the Allgrit runcast, this is the type of things that we want to talk about with our community. So if you guys are going to be okay with that, I'm going to just run in place, which is sort of the thing that I've been doing from the start, and I don't want to change it now.
We'll do that tomorrow, so go for it.
So I'm warming up a little bit. But in any case, okay. So welcome to the two of you. That's thanks for taking the time to talk to me or to our listeners. So yeah, Stephan, please tell us a little bit more about Distance for Difference. Where did you start? Why did you start it?
It's like it's a 15-year-old story now. Started in at the beginning of 2005, Donnie. And just after that Asian tsunami, I don't know whether most listeners will remember, 26 December 2004, and scenes of devastation and people in need, and 300,000 plus people lost their lives and so on. And at that stage, I still remember where I was running. It was in front of Mediclinic in Somerset West. When the idea came to me early in January that year, I can use my legs. It's something that I have. I'm not a great runner, but I can run. And why don't I start a campaign running 1,000 kilometers that year, and just approaching family members and colleagues and saying, listen, I'm going to run 1,000. Don't you want to sponsor me per kilometer? So it's where it all started. And we raised 25,000 Rand during that year in 2005. And we helped a few people, homeless people, and got involved with children, during that first year. And from there onwards, people just joined me and say, hey, they also want to run to make a difference. We still called it running for their lives in that first year, the first few years. And then cyclists, contacted me and said they want to start cycling for charity as well, and raise funds. And so we changed the name to Distance for Difference. Anything that has a distance. Later on, swimmers joined us, and triathletes, doing the Ironman and so on. And from there it just grew. And the whole idea was to start it to just give back and to say thank you for the privileges I had. But it's also maybe a little bit to do with me growing up without a father. Lost mine when I was 5 years old, and I just realized what an impact it has to be in a stable family home where there's a father and a mother figure. And if we can somehow just give a little bit of stability to children, that's going to be great. So our whole focus in those early years shifted towards making a difference in children's organizations, and so many organizations out there working with children. I always say I see them as angels. It's really special people that cares for children, and especially children with a few disabilities perhaps as well, or children that was picked up from the street. I can't do that, but I can use my body, and I can put a business plan together and a marketing campaign together, and I can raise funds, and I can get others to join me. So that's been our premise for the last 15 years. We in the beginning, we encourage people to do crazy things and to take part in comrades and Ironman, and we used the Cape Town cycle tour, the August as it was called, a lot in the beginning as well. So, just saying people go and do it, and go and do it to raise funds for our organization. We will then, as a group, we're about 7 directors on the Distance for Difference board. We then look at our funding, and we get applications from children's organizations. And then we responsibly responsibly distribute those funds towards these organizations. And later on, we decided, listen, it's becoming very expensive to take part in the August, for example. They charge charity organizations a huge amount, and we said, let's create our own fundraising events. And that is where the 500, the 24-hour cycling challenge was born. In 2013, we hosted the first one, and every other year we have a running event called the Gratitude Run, which we host at Lawrenceford every second year as well. So one year it's a 500, next year is the run, the Gratitude Run. And a long story short, through over the last 15 years, we raised about 7 million rand, which we then distributed to all these children's organizations, foster homes, individual children in need. It's been such a blessed 15 years, and all glory belongs to our Heavenly Father. He just made it possible for us to create an organization like this, to encourage others to join us, and the glory belongs to Him. And it's been an awesome privilege over the last 15 years to be involved in this.
It again also shows you. I spoke with, as I said, Charlotte Robenheimer that did the Ironman in her garden, and she also had an overwhelming response of people that just wants to give, that just wants to help. So I think that is, for me, that makes me very proud to be part of this community in South Africa, because we have people willing to help each other, and I think in a very indirect way, this COVID-19 situation is almost amplifying that in a sense. People are really digging deep and reaching out and saying that, okay, we need to work together now in unity and support each other. And it's absolutely amazing the type of things that people are doing in order to support each other, like the things that you guys are going to attempt. So, but before I get to that, I just want to ask Colin. So, Colin, tell us a little bit about where you come from and how did you get into the fitness scene and joined up with Stephan here.
Yeah, so actually I am a runner, not a cyclist at all. I met Stephan through Stephan Marais. It's a good friend of mine who's a great supporter of the Gratitude and the Distance for Difference, and a great cyclist. So he approached me a few years ago. He's doing the 500, and I like extreme things. I like comrades and oceans. I would have done my 10th this year. Quite bummed that it was cancelled. But he approached me last year and said he's going to do the 500 again. And I thought, well, what a great idea. Maybe I can support them a little bit. And I was surprised. I must say I was honored. I participated, and the event changed me more than I could change the event. It's an absolutely amazing day. Well, 24 hours for that matter. And how it changed the way I looked at it, the way I looked at my sport. It used to be a very personal, individual thing where I would be running the comrades, I would be running the oceans, towards something that when I'm doing this, I'm making a difference somewhere else. And it's completely changed the way I've viewed it. And you would think that it's now becoming a chore. It's actually becoming more enjoyable. So when I heard Stephan is doing the 42, I thought, well, I am fat, I am lazy, I've got a house, I might as well join. So I joined him in the crazy. So hopefully I will be able to finish. But yes, more a supporter than any way involved in his amazing work. I'm really privileged just to take part.
That's great, and it's quite an amazing event. I'm very sorry that I missed that long distance cycle. I have a friend here that he's got the Velo Life, Malan. He also rode Malan also rode the 500.
Yeah. So Malan is actually a long-time partner of D4D. He's he was one of the almost founding members of the 500, and did it from the very first time. Malan is actually a very good friend of mine. We've been in a Bible study group, many moons ago. That's where I met him and his wife Rochelle. So great friend, great guy.
No, great people. Yeah, no, they really are. But you guys also hinted now a little bit at your undertaking tomorrow. So, okay, why don't you guys tell us or tell our listeners, what are you going to do tomorrow, and what is this focused on?
So, Donnie, definitely not a unique idea. I also just kept looking at all the social media pages and people, I think the very first time I saw something in this, in the, something crazy happening was that guy that did a marathon on his balcony, and I can't remember which country now, but it was like 7 meters, and he had to run to and fro, and he did a marathon. I said, wow, that's amazing, good for him. And then people started doing crazy things and running marathons around their houses and ultras, and the Ironman lady in PE, I saw that, and I thought, wow, that is just cool and amazing. And the other day you would have all seen Ryan Sands doing 160 kilometers with a 4,500 meter climb around his house.
No, that's next level.
Yeah, no,
that's next level. I'm very glad I have a flat plot. So I just thought, it's not about getting in the news or nothing like that. It is just another opportunity in a very unique situation that we're in to do something a little bit silly, a little bit crazy, mind-numbing, and to try and use that as a platform to raise funds. And so I just said, listen, during the lockdown, I also thought about am I gonna stay fit? And it was interesting, a little side story. I have one of these cycle trainers, a giant thing that you can put your cycle on, and it's been in the on Facebook marketing or marketplace for many moons now. And that evening when lockdown was announced, I got 8 people that wanted to buy the thing. I said, maybe I must just keep this baby. So I got my cycle set up, and then I started seeing these people running around the house, and I said, okay, let me try that. And I did a 5. Or first I started with half an hour. It was about 4 Ks. Then I did a 5, and then the one day at 10. And then I said, that's the maximum. My mind is going crazy, and it's just boring. But then the idea just started. Listen, lockdown is not going to last forever. Make use of this opportunity. And then the plight of Donnie, the plight of the children's charities that we've been supporting over the years, came to me, and I just realized, we've got a lady that we support, Esther, and she gave us some feedback on how she's doing, and she said, listen, the little income that she got from baking cakes and that she could distribute, and she also worked at a tuck shop at one of the schools, that all just closed down overnight, and that part of her income is gone. And I just realized, let's make use of this opportunity. I then measured my plot. It's 88 meters. I measured it with a tape measure to make sure it's correct. And I'm going to run a marathon like Donnie, like Colin tomorrow, and it's going to be 400 for me. It's 480 laps around the house. I think Donnie, Colin, you need to do 528.
Yep.
A little bit more because your round is a little bit shorter. And we just started to communicate that message, and we've got over the years developed little systems and marketing ways of putting it out there, and created a little link for people to pledge. And we got very good responses, especially over the last week, the last few days. Many of my colleagues now joined in, and I just challenge everybody. Do you have 42 Rand 20 to give? 42 Rand 20. Do you have that you can part of? And that concept works, and people give 42 Rand 20, and many give a lot more. So together, we get a lacquer amount. So that's the concept.
That's wonderful. I'm going to put that link up on this Facebook post, which I'll do immediately after this this talk, so that anybody that listens and so that our readers can also get on that. And as you said, that's so little. Now, if you think about that, and if you actually think about all the money we're saving now with not traveling, not going out on entertainment.
Many of us are saving money. Yeah.
So and others are really suffering, like the lady that you were talking about. And I think that's an amazing thing that you guys are doing. I'm super impressed and in awe of what you guys are going to do. And we'll get those links on so that our listeners and our readers can also see what they can give.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Guys, so yeah, I think, you're gonna give some photos or videos as you go along this tomorrow? Are you gonna see if you can do a live feed?
Colin, do you want to comment first?
Yeah, I am.
Colin.
I'm going to keep my neighbors alive. So they've already talked about how they're going to put their braais outside on the lawn, and they're going to make breakfast, and it's going to be a whole street event.
Okay.
And then, like I mentioned, I'm using these little plastic bowls as a visual counter, because I will not be able to remember how many times I've been around. And they're going to be on the fence so that people can see the bags filling up with balls and see how many times we've been around, to sort of include the people. And as they drive by, they can also pledge. But it's also, like I said before, the D4D I haven't really changed much in the D4D. The D4D has changed me. Our street, how many people have notified me after I've sent the link to everyone on the street, please support the crazy guy. They all have said to me, great, what an answer where we can give something, because people really want to support in this time, but they don't know how. They don't know, can they buy a food packet down on the road and drop it somewhere? But D4D is a great way where they know the money is going to be spent responsibly. It's going to get to the people that need it. So yes, for us, it's a more of a street thing, and we're going to be keeping them alive with balls tomorrow.
And that makes a difference in the community. Just hearing those people cheer you on and clapping, and that makes a difference. And also seeing your family quite regularly, your kids running around, dodging them a little bit in the middle of a run, and dogs and things. Kids, that makes it exciting. Yeah. So, and also the nice thing about constant nutrition. You can, if you're in the mood for a quick Coke or a milk or a coffee or whatever, you can also get some. Really good. You can get some of that. So.
Yeah. So from my side, we're in a complex, so I don't have like a street view and neighbors close by. Well, very close, but the one house is empty, and there's an old guy next door, and he's So I'm not going to have a lot of support in that sense. But as you said, the family is going to be around, and I'll be doing. I actually watch all your Facebook posts, Donnie. So you gave me the idea there, and I'll do a Facebook post when I start a Facebook Live on the Distance for Difference Facebook page, and then I thought about maybe every 10Ks I will do another one and take the time to rest properly. And then Colin is going to send me pictures and status updates from his phone, and I'll be posting that as well. So people can just follow our progress on the D4D Facebook page via that method. So I showed you before we started. I'm not going to use balls. I'm an engineer by trade, so I'm a bit more methodical in that sense. I've got a little table like this. Every block is 5 laps. Because your mind does get weird sometimes, and I can't even count to 5 sometimes. And Colin, I think you also said it earlier. So I will just be marking those off and see the progress as I go along. And but as you say, I think I've got 3 daughters and a lovely wife, and they're gonna keep me encouraged. And again, and I actually thought about probably still gonna do it tonight, printing out the names of the organizations that we're running for. And I'm gonna actually put up photos and the names of the organizations along my route. And just to see that and to know that's why we do this. And at this stage, if I can just report, Colin, our latest total, combined between myself and Colin is on 68,752 rand. So excellent. It's a significant amount. Thanks to everybody that's joined up. There's still lots of time to pledge, and that's a great amount that we will be able to. And the full amount, nothing will go to any operational cost of D4D. I've decided the entire amount will be dished out to various children charities that we've been supporting over the years, and we will report back on where that goes, after the event.
Stephan, that's wonderful. I'm very glad for you guys that you got that amount, and also indirectly glad that you're still going to run tomorrow, because I saw on YouTube there was you left a message which said that if the amount is at a certain level beforehand, maybe we don't have to run. So secretly I was sort of thinking, I want these guys to run.
I'm gonna feel way too guilty if I'm not running. So
yeah, exactly.
We'll be running.
I'm glad
and
for that.
walking a lot.
Yeah, and it's okay. It's okay. I keep that in my mind as well. Is that it's okay to walk sometimes during? It's a long distance, so
how was your 58? What was the most challenging part for you?
for me, it was between 42 and 58 after the marathon.
So we good.
You guys are fine.
We're
There's
fine.
no problem. No problem. Yeah, and the thing that I was really grateful for was my neighbor baked an amazing banana bread.
That.
An amazing banana
Wow,
bread,
I
and
saw
that really.
Yeah.
And I was also, I spoke to Paul Allgrit, who lives just around the corner here. He did 100 kilometers, and then we also did a runcast with him. And I was chatting to him about.
I saw that interview.
But Paul is he's a very good runner. He runs like at a 5-minute, sub 5-minute pace. Né? That's his marathon pace. So he's a absolutely phenomenal runner. And he said to me, some Coke and water. That's his nutrition. And I did that. And I was super happy that fueled me. And but I think also just the love of the family. My son putting up different songs and things like that. That motivation was, and also knowing that you're running for somebody else or for some cause made a difference. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to leave you to rest and go and eat your pizzas and your pasta. So, and I'm going to watch. What time are you starting tomorrow?
6:30. Colin, I'm not sure whether you also want to start 6:30. So it's still a little bit dark. So I'll be running with a light the first half an hour, but 6:30. So I'll be doing a Facebook Live, let's say 6:20, and then I'll start. Okay. Well, all the best for that, and absolutely congratulations and well done. We salute you guys for what you're doing, and let's get this this link on. I'll be in contact with you so I can get that afterwards, and then. Thank you for the opportunity, Donnie. Great idea. These interviews. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you,
guys. Thanks, Colin.
Cheers, Colin.
Cheers, man. Bye bye.